A very good morning to you and welcome to News Diary. My name is Trix Ingado. In the docket today, we have lined up for you the very latest on what to expect in politics, education, what is trending on social media. We're also going to take a look at Kandara by-elections that you're expecting and so much more. And we kick this off with the examination preparations that are ongoing right now. And Shadrach Miti is joining us from our I&M studio to bring us the latest on that front. Shadrach, what is happening?
Well, today, Trix, is a very important day for the candidates at both grade 6 and class 8 streams who are concurrently doing the examinations beginning Monday. But today is the rehearsal day for the event. Remember, we are having, this year we are going to have 3 national examinations running concurrently. That for today, we are having rehearsals for the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education, KCP, and another rehearsal for the Kenya Education for Primary School Assessment, that's KPSEA, which is taking place ahead of the official beginning of examinations on Monday, which will run through Wednesday. That's for 3 days. And so for today, we are expecting that about 1,244,188 KCP candidates will be in all the examination centers across the country preparing for Monday's big day. And again, alongside them, we shall also have another 1,287,597 KPSEA candidates also preparing for their assessment. Remember, it's very critical, especially for the KPSEA candidates who are inaugural grade 6 learners who are going to be to have their first national summative assessment, which is totally or completely different from what we are witness to. Remember, going by the rules and the criteria for the CBC assessment, these candidates have already done 60% of their assessment, which was basically school-based. And so what will be happening beginning Monday will just, the assessment will only be covering for 40%. And that 40% will now be weighted against the whatever they got in their 60%, and then it will be added together for them to transition. And remember, although the examination or the assessment is not entirely meant for them to transition, because these learners are operating under the government policy on 100% transition. So it doesn't matter whether how much or what score the candidate will get, but all of them must move to secondary school. But even so, as they prepare again, then we are waiting for another tricky situation that in the next few days, perhaps tomorrow or Monday or Sunday, we're expecting that the president will be receiving the interim report by the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms, which report will now inform how placement and transition of grade 6 learners will be. Because although we also have class 8 candidates who are sitting the examination, their fate is almost definite that they will be moving to high school based on their choices they made. But for these grade 6 learners, there's still a push and pull. We do not know exactly whether they'll be transitioning to secondary school or the decision will be made that they remain in the primary schools that they are in. Although we are reliably informed that the Working Party on Education Reforms has recommended that the candidates will continue in their current school, so that after 2 years, that is when now they'll be moving to secondary school. So those are the things we are expecting, but today we do not have so much except the preparations just for learners and candidates to know how their sitting arrangement, where they will be, and all the processes that they will be required to go through when Monday comes. And so that's what we are going to follow through when we get out of this studio. Back to you, Trix.
Absolutely, Miti. And before I let you go, there has been a lot of buzz about cheating and the quality of the results that shall be gotten out of these exams. Measures have been taken, including the cancellation of the traditional prayer day. Could you speak to us about those measures, and do we expect better performance or more accurate results?
Well, that's a problem that has been ongoing ever since. Remember, even after we had radical changes at the Kenya National Examinations Council, and even after the government instituted radical ways to safeguard examinations, we've had situations where the cartels in cheating examinations have outsmarted even the security personnel themselves. I remember about a year ago, the former Cabinet Secretary for Education, George Magoha, admitted that they had been outwitted by examination cheating cartels, and so saying that as a government they needed to go back to the drawing board so that now they can re-strategize. And so we are witnessing, just a few weeks ago, I think that was last week, we had a situation where few people are believed to be behind the syndicate of selling examinations and accessing exam papers ahead of time and expose them, were arrested and arraigned. I think that was at Milimani Law Courts for processing. And so based on that, and then we saw when the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Ezekiel Machogu, was launching the examination period, he gave a stunning warning over the same. But as it has always been, there's always the warning by the government, but then there's always the determination by the cartels. Although we sometimes experience cases where there's attempts to cheat or steal examination is largely controlled, but we can never escape one or two situations. And so we are expecting that based on what we saw last year, where we had a number of candidates whose results were cancelled, and so based on that, maybe that could serve as a warning, but we cannot rule out the possibility of exam cheats or exam pre-exposure, but it all depends on how the security personnel, the Kenya National Examination Council, and center managers of all examination centers will be determined to take care of every situation, just to make sure that they're nipping it in the bud before it explodes. Back to you, Trex.
Absolutely. Now, moving on from education, let's move over to Clement Masombo, who I do understand has been following the developments when it comes to the Kandara by-elections that is expected. And I do understand today is nominations. Clement, what is the latest on that front?
Well, good morning, Trix. The nominations are not happening today, but they are scheduled to happen tomorrow. And they will not just be happening in Murang'a alone. The nominations, the UDA party nominations, will also be happening in Elgeyo Marakwet County, where a number of candidates have already shown interest seeking to succeed the immediate former Senator of Elgeyo Marakwet, Kipchumba Murkomen. Remember that Murkomen was appointed by President William Ruto to the docket of roads, transport and public works. And I understand that a total of 21 candidates have been cleared by the UDA party to contest in tomorrow's exercise. But leaving alone Elgeyo Marakwet, let's talk about Central Kenya, to be specific, in Kandara constituency in Murang'a County, where the exercise will also be happening in attempts to seek the candidates who will be representing the UDA party ahead of the by-elections that are scheduled for January 5th, 2023. And in tomorrow's exercise in Kandara constituency, a total of 13 candidates have been cleared to contest in tomorrow's nominations, seeking to replace the former MP, Alice Wahome. Alice Wahome was appointed by President William Ruto as well to the docket of water and irrigation. Remember that Alice Wahome had served as a member of parliament for Kandara constituency for 2 successive terms. She was elected in 2013 and re-elected in 2017, and she had also been successfully re-elected in this year's election in August 9th general election as the MP until her appointment to the docket of water and irrigation. And just to mention a few of those people who were cleared by the UDA party in Kandara constituency include Andrew Kahenya, Lucy Ngugi, Chege Njuguna, Raphael Kiome, Engineer Stephen Moura, Titus Njau, as well as Engineer Masharia Kamau. And there are also others like Evelyn Waithera Mwitharania. Remember, this is one candidate who in August general election, she had vied seeking to be elected nominated as the county MP under the Jubilee Party, but she has now shown interest to vie for this Kandara constituency parliamentary seat under the UDA party. Another person of interest is the immediate former deputy governor, that is Maina Kamau. Maina Kamau also initially had served as a member of parliament for Kandara constituency between 2007 and 2012 when he was ousted by the immediate former MP Alice Wahome. So those are the two. Those are the people who were cleared by the UDA party to contest for this Kandara constituency in tomorrow's nominations exercise. But we understand that all the candidates that were cleared to contest in tomorrow's exercise were last week invited for a meeting in Nairobi by the UDA party officials, and they were given an assurance by the party officials that the exercise will be free and fair, and that they do not have any preferred candidate ahead of tomorrow's nominations. So that is the story that we shall be following up from this side of the country to just to relate to our viewers on what is happening on the ground and how the preparations are, and also maybe seeking to speak to some of those who will be contesting in tomorrow's exercise to get their views, whether they feel satisfied as far as the preparations for the nominations exercise that will be happening tomorrow is concerned. Tricks.
All right, thank you very much, Clement Masumo, for that update. We're looking forward to learn more about how that plays out for all those interested parties. Now, let's get back to our I&M studio.